Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So today's stream is going to be on the one shot, one kill. I'm going to get Kimbesco up here. We are going to go over the one shot, one kill method. If you have not already done so, you should go to the one shot, one kill method section in the Discord. We have already documented the entire process. So to follow along, if you need additional examples, please reference that section of the Discord. There is also multiple YouTube videos that Kimbesco has created. So a lot of the answers to any of these questions have already been answered and can be found in those videos, along with the data sheet that comes along with it. So I'm going to get Kimbesco up here. We'll say hi to the community. We'll welcome everybody to the stream, and then we will get into the conversation.
Hey, can everyone hear me?
Hey, good morning. Yes,
Good morning, good morning.
I'm able to hear you. If everybody could just give him a thumbs up to let us know you guys could hear him as well.
Perfect.
Good morning. How's your day going so far?
Good. Ready for this election to be over, man. Maybe we can get some better price action. NFP week and election has not been fun.
I know I would really like elections to be over with.
Yeah.
Yesterday's movement was quite nice to see. I
was.
do
Yeah.
have to say.
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
just kind of been stuck in this range at all-time highs,
Yep.
doing nothing really.
Yep.
I definitely attribute that to elections.
Yeah, I'll enjoy it when I don't have to keep getting these stupid political text messages every day from
Oh my God,
my
you get them
opponents.
too?
Oh my gosh, yes, they're ridiculous.
5 times a day they're telling
Yeah.
me to
Seriously,
vote.
I know. It's like, okay, guys, come on, let's go. Hi, this is
That
so and so. Like,
how
okay.
is that okay?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's if you're on a voter registration card, they're just like, yep, we're pounding you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. So, all right, looks like we got a pretty good amount of people in here. So it's right at 8 o'clock. So let's get started. Unless you wanted to say hi to everybody, like you'd said, so it's your call.
So yeah, I'm just gonna do one quick statement.
Okay.
I know that I've said this 100 times, and Kinvesco is gonna end up saying it too because we truly feel this way. But when we're going through this morning's conversation, this is only for the individuals that are accepting of the risk. Once again, this is for the individual that has already proven that they could trade the model. So they need a quicker way to get into a funded account. Okay, so if you are not that individual and you are still in the learning phase and you are still seeking education, this is not for you.
Yep.
Do not expedite. Okay, hear me loud and clear. This is only for individuals that can accept the risk, meaning the cost of an eval plus the activation fees if you're using Apex. So you have to accept the entire risk before the risk is taken, and you should only do that if you can confirm that you have a proven track record using the model. Otherwise, focus on your education.
Yep.
But with that being said, I would really like to go over the method with Convesco if he wants to give any insight on it.
Yep, absolutely. And glad to do this. So obviously, since the first, I think I was the second student stage you did, this method's kind of blown up a bit, and I get a lot of questions every day, and I know a lot of them are there's new people joining the Discord. So I figured let's just do this, especially on NFP, and I'll trade live through NFP as well. I'm going to try to pass an eval myself, so it may pass, it may not, but it's key. What you said is that. And I don't think we mentioned that. I know we harped on the fact that, that accept the risk, understand, that You have a one shot at this, and there's probably a chance that you're going to lose that eval, right? So just accept that risk. I don't know if we said it in the term you just said, to where if you're still trying to learn a trading model, you're still trying to learn the unicorn, do that first and then come back to this. Because I think so many people are so like amped up. They just want to get started trading. They just want to go full blast at everything. And they lose the proper steps to become a successful trader. And they're just like, hey, I'm going to get 1 million funded accounts. Okay, well, what if you do get them and then you don't know how to trade? Then you may just lose those accounts. So it's very key to understand the model, learn how to trade, then try to expedite. So I just want to reiterate that for sure. So, but a lot of the questions I'm getting around the OSOK method is I'll walk through on the charts how to physically do it, just like I did in the student stage. It's changed a little bit because of how orders are entered in TradingView, but a lot of it has to do with this file right here. And it's this, well, if I have this much of an account, how many points do I need? If I have this size of account, how many points? Well, if I have MFFU and I need, I can only do 10, so on and so forth. What can I do? So can everyone see this, the spreadsheet there? Give a thumbs up if you all can see it.
I'm able to see it. Yeah.
You're able to see it. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So this spreadsheet can be found in my journal, as well as the one shot, one kill method. And I also put it in the help, one shot, one kill help. It's updated as far as the news events up until this last NFP event. I just put that in myself. And essentially, thanks to Jimmy as well, I've made a couple changes with this Excel sheet here. And so here's NFP, and this is kind of the basis behind the one shot, one kill method. Is there a way we can create an edge instead of just putting random orders on the chart above and below price? Or do we put it at equal lows? Do we put it at swing high? So that was the basis of why I came up with the chart. Was like, well, let's go look at historical data to see what we can actually do if there's a way to create an edge. And that's where I came up with this pad. And what I figured out was, okay, well, every move has some type of manipulation and then has the actual move, in the first 5-minute candles. I'm looking at just the first 5-minute candles here. So that's what this open, high, low is. So this number here basically is breaking down from the open of the candle at when the news drops, whatever time that news is, to the highest, lowest point. This is the range. So if it's an open low, right, and it drops down, I think the last news event, I can look down here on the chart, was an open high. Yeah, so it went down 6 points first and then went up 92 points. So that's what this first row is essentially. And then the next row is wherever it goes first. So in other words, the manipulation. So what I'm looking to do is, depending on the news event, you could pass either on the manipulation or on the actual move, depending on how far price is going to go. So that's where this average open high low comes into play. And NFP and CPI are the two highest volatile events. So if you see CPI currently, on average, it moves 125 points from the open to either the highest or lowest point of that first 5-minute candle. But it also has an average higher manipulation than NFP does. So NFP moves on average 106 points and manipulates an average of 36 points. PPI, it's dropping down. FOMC, it drops down. And then PCE, it drops down. That's one of the worst. So that's where the pad came into play. So then I started playing with the numbers of going, okay, well, if the average manipulation's 36, well, what if we do a 36 size pad? Can I, or better yet, let's do a 37 size pad. Can I eliminate all the manipulation and just get on the side on the move? Well, if you do that, you're only passing 67% of the time. So that's when I started to play with the different size pads to see what works best. Okay. And the reason why you would think, well, if the average manipulation is 37 points, why am I not passing every time? Well, number one, it's based on your contract allocation. So for this specific example, I'm using a 250K Apex account. I'm doing a full allocation of all 27 contracts. It's on ES, that's $20 per point, and my passing goal is $15,000, and I need 28 points to pass. Well, based on that, making the pad too big, you're going to fail. So the whole point to the pad is not necessarily to eliminate all the manipulation. It's to find the number that suits best to where I can pass with the highest percentage, whether it's on the manipulation move or it's on the actual move. So for example, for NFP, 22 gives me the best. 22 to 24 gives me the highest win percentage. Like now, if I go up to 25, it drops down to 87. If I go down to 21, it drops down, or I'm sorry, it goes back up to 93. So it's 21 to, there you go. Yeah, so it's 21 to 24 essentially. Now you could change this. Like for example, let's say you're doing like a My Fun and Futures 50K account. I think it's 2,500 for passing, or maybe 2,800 for passing on that one. And on that, I know somebody told me yesterday, I think, yeah. So for this, if your contract allocation's 10 and you only need to go 28, get $2,800 or 14 points to pass, and you use a pad of 37, it gives you a 100% passing rate. So when I get these questions, okay, it's 3K to pass. Let me bump it up to 3K, guys. Might be a little different. Yeah, it's still. So when I get these questions from people that say, hey, what is the pad I need? I don't know, because it depends on your account. It depends on what your contract allocation is, depends on what your profit target is. This chart, guys, I made to have a reference, but you guys need to use it and put in your own data and put in these numbers so you can figure it out yourself. So, and I can just walk through a quick what I do to do that. So for example, let's just go back and look at the last NFP. The last NFP was on Friday the 4th at 8:30 a.m. So that way you guys can understand how to add the data to the sheet. So I'll go back to the last NFP. There we go. I'm going to hit replay. And all I simply do is there's the news drop at 8:30. The first thing I'm going to do is use the ruler tool and measure from the open to the manipulation side. So that's -6 points. So that was the manipulation on this one. And then I'm going to measure from the open to the highest point of that first 5-minute candle, and that's 92 points. So then I go back over to the spreadsheet and I put in the date and I type in, okay, the open, high or low was 92 and the manipulation was 6. So that's how, and then I'll take screenshots and add it to the sheet. So when you guys download this sheet, I'm not gonna continuously make new ones every single news event, guys. You guys got to do a little bit of work yourself. But that's essentially what I do to create the data in that sheet. So again, I'm going to go back to the Apex, because that's what I play specifically, and put in my 15,000 right there. So so that's what I'm going to be running today. I'm going to be running a 22 pad, and I'll do that live again as well. But let me go over. You can, RJ, you can find the sheet. I'll link it to this, but it's if you go to the one shot, one kill method a section of the Discord or to my journal, it's in my pinned messages. There's in there, you can see where it actually is. Yeah. Thanks, Ash. If you scroll down in that OSOK method, there will be a link it's to my journal that will give you the most up-to-date into information. You're going to want the one that's labeled news data 2.1. That's going to have all the most recent data except the last NFP. So, I mean, here's the numbers if you guys just want to put it in there, or if you want to do it yourself, you just do it how I showed you guys to do it. So, but let's go ahead and let me do this real quick. I'm going to just log in here. I'm actually going to do it on paper trading real quick. So let me show you guys how the actual ordering method works. There's also, one second. I also created an indicator for the OSOK method pad. That is also in the linked into the OSOK method. And this way we don't have to manually put on the chart anymore. Like I used to put a position tool and so forth. Now we can just do it based on this. So let me I'll log into paper trading real quick. And then, so it's really simple. So let's say this is the 8:30 news drop, right? And usually about a minute before, what I'll do is I will go ahead and make sure, because the old way of doing stuff, you used to have instant order placement off. Now you can have instant order placement on. So in your settings, make sure instant order placement is on. And what we're going to do is we're going to go below price. We're going to right click, go to trade, create a new order. And what we're going to do is we want to do a sell stop order. Okay, so if we're below price, we want to do a sell stop order. And all we're going to have is a take profit. So right here we have the 27 contracts that I'm going to allocate. And we're going to have a take profit for this one. I do a little bit more. I do closer to 16,000 because you will get some slippage one way or another. And slippage means that it could hit your profit target, but because price is moving so fast, it will either slip that and give you more, or it will slip it and give you less. So you always run the risk of that possibly happening. So there's your sell stop. And then above price, you do the same thing. You right click, you go to trade, create new order. And in this case, you want to do a buy. It's a stop order. We don't have any stop loss on it. You hit take profit and you put above price. Now, what I do is 10 seconds before the news event's going to drop, I hold the shift button down and then I drag the bracket order right to my two little lines there on my OSOK indicator. And then you let go and you just let price do what it does. Now, if price jumps up and as soon as it executes one way or another, whether it goes down or up, you're going to want to close out the other side of the order, because what will happen is, let's say it executes the sell and then it starts going against us. As soon as it triggers the buy as well, it's going to close both of them out. So, and more likely you're going to be blowing the account anyways if it goes that far against you. So that's the process of how to actually enter the trades on the chart. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I'm just going to reiterate one thing that he said. Notice it is sell stop and buy stop.
Yeah.
We're not placing limit orders. It's very key that it is a sell stop order.
Yep. And I've had a couple people that will shoot me an example and they'll go, "Oh, it's not working." Well, the reason why it wasn't working was because they were trying to do a buy below price and a sell above price. So once again,
Exactly.
yeah, you want to do a sell below price and you want to do the buy stop above price. So a lot of times it's just little stuff here and there. Let's see. How do you determine what price to set your take profit at? So, okay, good question, Tyree. So it's based on so if you go back to the spreadsheet, for me, my passing goal is 15,000. Okay. And I have a defined contract allocation of 27 contracts for a 50 or 250K Apex account. So when I'm placing that order, I'm going to make sure I have the total number of units. So it's 27 contracts. And I want my take profit to be at least $15,000. And in this case, I try to go 1,000 above. Now with 27 contracts, you can't get an even 1,000. So it's not going to say 16,000. It's going to be 15,930. But essentially you put in whatever your dollar profit target is right here. And that determines where you take your profit at. And again, I do it for a little bit more because you could get slippage. So if you say you set a $15,000 profit target and it goes past it and it doesn't execute and it comes back, by doing a little bit higher, it could, slip you in the better direction. So I can tell you this, guys, I have never once not had slippage doing this method, not even one time. Okay. However, I have had it slip me in the positive direction more than I've had it slip me in the negative direction. Now, I have had it to where it's gone, it's hit my profit target, and boom, it comes and it slips me, and I'm like, oh, I missed it by $2,500. Now, it still took the profit. It didn't blow the account. I just came up $2,500 short, right? So there is the chance of that happening. I've also had it to where it slipped me. One of the first times I ever did this, it slipped me and it gave me like $32,000 in profit. So obviously you don't need that much, but it can happen in either direction. And like I said, I have never not had it slip me. It has slipped every single time I have done this. Never once has it done it. Just hit the profit target and that's it. It's either going to slip you by more or it's going to slip you by less. Every time I've ever done it, it's done it that way. So yeah, and Zanya, thank you for linking that. There is the it's a private indicator, so I don't think you can technically find it. It's not an invite only, but it's unlisted. The reason why is that when I was trying to make it a public one, TradingView kept denying it, saying that it wasn't unique enough. So whatever, I don't really care. So I just made it a private one. But there's the link to the OSOK pad. So let's see. So Lusk, just play around with it and try to find the contract allocation or the pad size that works the best, right? There's obviously, that's why I say when people ask me, what's the pad? What should I do? I don't know what the pad is. It's all going to boil down to what size account you have, who you have it with, what's your profit target, what's your contract allocation, and all that stuff. So I don't have that answer when people ask that. Right there, like having what pad side for NFP, please? Like I just said, I don't know. It depends on what your account is, what size your account. So let's go back to that and let's look at that. So for me, if I go to the spreadsheet here, I'm doing a $250,000 Apex account. I can have a max allocation of 27 contracts and my profit target is 15,000, which means I need 28 points to pass. So for me, the highest percentage win rate based on historical data, we all know historical data does not guarantee that it's going to be this way on the next attempt. It's just based on what it's done in the past. My best is a pad size of either 21 to 24. So that's the whole point, guys. You download this spreadsheet, you put in the data if there's not all the data there, put in how many contracts you're allowed to allocate, right? Depending on your account size. If it's NQ or ES, you change it. If it's ES, you put $50 per point. Put in your pass value that you need, and then play around with the pad size. That's the whole reason why this spreadsheet is here. It's for you guys to do a little bit of the research yourself and then play around with the pad to see which one works the best for you. So, Amnint. I'll just go with the 22. I mean, you could go clearly on, if you're talking about just the 250K Apex account, a 21 to 24 pad size, it's the exact same. So it really doesn't matter. So I just roll with 22. I mean, that's what I did last NFP and we passed. But anywhere, if you're, again, using a 250K Apex account, it's anywhere from 21 to 24 is what you need. But let's talk about trade copiers. I know a lot of people use trade copiers and a lot of people, some have had success doing it this way. I'm actually going to just log into my Trade-Evade account real quick, guys, so I can get ready for the event. I personally have not been able to successfully copy trade this method, and I use the Apex Investing trade copier. And what happens is every time that I've attempted to do a trade copy with this, my leader account will execute, but my follower accounts will not, and I get errors on the screen. So I have not been able to myself personally successfully trade copy this and have it work. Now, I know that there are others in here and they can speak about it more than I can. For me, the other part about the trade copying is, like Ash said at the beginning of this, if you're going to go about this, whatever your cost is to buy the challenge account, just consider that money gone. And if you go buy 20 accounts and you're going to copy trade, and let's say the copy trade does work, well, if you fail, you just failed 20 accounts. So for my risk profile and my risk parameters, I personally just like doing one account at a time, right? So I know Jimmy's had some success with it. And I believe Arrow, you can speak on that. I think you have also had success with paper trading or with copy trading this method. I just personally have not, and therefore I just don't do it. I just one account at a time. This will be, if I do pass this, and this will be my 12th 250K account. So I'm fine with just doing one account at a time and slowly building up to my max amount that's allowed at Apex of 20. And then maybe I go to my fund of futures and get a couple over there. I don't know. I'll probably be completely satisfied with just 20 on Apex. So, but we're getting close here. We got about 7 minutes. Yeah. If we have any other questions specifically either about the indicator or about the spreadsheet or how to actually place and execute, let me know. I know once we get about 8:28, I'm going to not answer any questions because I'm going to be focusing on actually doing it. So let's see if anybody has any questions.
I'll also put my 2 cents in there. The trade copier, in my opinion, it's really not worth it.
Yeah.
If you have a larger risk tolerance, then okay, but the amount of times that slippage or no fills happens is more likely than none. So
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter what trade copier you're using. Mine is Trade of 8 group trade. You're gonna get missed fills. So
Yep.
you might as well just do it one at a time.
Yep.
There's just, in my opinion, it's not worth the risk
Nope.
because it's more likely that you'll get a missed fill.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, with my trade copier, it wouldn't even execute the follower accounts. It literally only executed the leader, and all the follower accounts just wouldn't even execute. So
Right.
yeah, it didn't even if he didn't get slipped, they didn't even place the orders. So Tomek, yeah, Izania answered that question, but I'll go over it again. Once you place the buy or sell stop limits, so again, we're going to do a stop, not stop limit, but stop orders. Let's go here. Let's go 16K. Not 16. There we go. You're going to drag both. After you put one on the chart, you hold the shift button. You're going to drag both the sell stop and the buy stop. You're going to drag both of them to the actual pad on the charts. So, so Azania was correct in saying that you do both of them. So, and keep in mind this, when you do it happens so fast. So, I mean, there's a good chance, guys, that we do this live today and we blow the accounts, right? That's why it's literally called one shot, one kill. Either you're passing or you're failing. There's usually nothing in between. Like, I mean, again, you could have some slippage and you might almost pass, but that's how you mentally have to be prepared for this. You were like, okay, I'm buying this account. I already consider this money gone, and either I'm going to pass or I'm going to fail. And I know some people have tried a few times and they keep failing. They've done it twice. Like, oh, this doesn't work. You just have to keep doing it, right? Like eventually it will. And again, if you're using the pad and you're, crunching the data, that's where this gives us that statistical edge. Now, I mentioned to somebody yesterday, I go, look, it might've been Jimmy. I don't know. Maybe it was Jimmy in our chat yesterday. I said, the market makers have given it to us. Look, if you look at the spreadsheet, how many in a row it's given us wins. I go, they're just sitting on the sideline waiting till today to kill us all. So who knows? Yeah, I thought it was Jimmy. I figured I thought that was our chat. It was actually funny, Jim. I was messaging with Krypton last night, and then your chat came over to me about the daylight savings time. I didn't even realize it was you, Jimmy. I thought I was still messaging with Krypton. So when I responded to that, I'm like, wait, how did I get on a chat with Jimmy? I didn't even realize. I thought I was still talking to Krypton. So that was kind of funny. I got you guys. I'm looking there. I'm like, wait a second. What's going on here? So. All right, so we got about 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Again, I have the orders just sitting there on my chart waiting to go. And then at 10 seconds before, I'll move. I don't even really worry that much about trying to move it back and forth within that 10-second because it kind of happens so fast. It's like, yeah, we're gonna get what we get with the pad size. So we'll just We'll give it a few more minutes here, and we'll see what happens. We're either going to pass or we're going to fail. It is what it is. What I would like to see happen because of my meta earnings play, I would like to see price manipulate higher than just dump again. But what I want to happen and what actually happens are normally two different things.
Alrighty, let's see what they have for us this time.
Yeah.
Last thing that I want to point out is this is not an invitation to tilt. If you lose, you go right back to the sidelines. We don't go outside of the model because you've tilted. Okay? Shut down your systems and just call it a day.
Yep.
This is not an invitation to tilt and start doing something impulsively.
Yeah, I think was it PB Mose that said it yesterday, where he's like, after today, I'm just shutting down until I'm not even looking until after the elections. I think he said that, and I think I'm going to be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
Yep. Good luck. So about 30 seconds. All right, so almost 10 seconds here. I'm going to drag up this one. I'm going to drag down. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, it's a loss. That's a loss there. So there you go. There it was. So counts blown is what it is. So that's why we take the risk, and this is actually pretty weak NFP right now.
That was probably the most lethargic NFP that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. Look at that. Wow. Told you market makers were going to get us this time. So, but this is why it's called one shot, one kill, guys. We either going to pass or we're going to fail, and we just move about our day. Like, it is what it is. So, yep, did not tag 30 pad. That's fine. Yeah. So at this point, guys, if you haven't been tagged in, just close it out. Like, I wouldn't even sit around and wait. If no one's been tagged in, just close it out. Yep, just close it out. We're going to move on to the next event, which I think is next week, right? Is it FOMC next week? Yeah. Which is not as good as CPI and NFP for sure. Yeah, no shot, no kill. Yeah. Yep, exactly. And this happens. I've also had this happen a few times, not like with CPI or NFP, but on a couple other lower volatile events where I do it and just nothing happens. So once again, if you guys have not been tagged in, close everything out. It's over.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
that was the most lethargic NFP.
It was seriously
probably have ever seen.
Yeah,
20-point move, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. Well, somebody passed. Wow. Look at that, Jim Bob. All right, well, good. Hey, someone's trade copier worked well. That's good. All fails, but that's okay. Yeah, there you go. She's an investor, no shot, no kill over any day. Yeah, it happens.
Jim, what pad did you use? Jim Bob?
Yeah. He probably used a small one. 10. Yeah.
10.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep. What was your TP target? How many points? 10. 3,400. Okay, so I don't know what that was in how many contracts did you have? What was your allocation? 10. Okay. So yeah, so on a 10-point pad, yeah, you only needed to go 17 points. So Good. I'm glad somebody passed. There you go. See, and that's what it boils down to. That's Jim Bob who I take it used the spreadsheet, looked at the statistics, and that's what he came up with. So that's the whole point of doing this, guys, is that you understand the reasoning behind the spreadsheet, how to use the spreadsheet, and how to use that information for your own individual account. So I know I've said this again, and there'll probably be some. I'm not trying to be an a-hole to anybody, but if you guys message me and you say, "What's the pad that I need?" I am not going to have an answer for you guys. Okay, you have to do this yourself. Download the spreadsheet, put in your defined allocation, put in the passing value that you need, play around with the numbers yourself. I am not going to answer that simply because of the fact that I don't know what type of an account you guys have. So I can't answer that for you. You're going to need to do a little bit of the work and figure that out yourself.
And the PDF runs the calculations. It's not like
Yeah.
any math needs to be done. You just
Yeah.
have to put your number in the
there.
section. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah, the Excel sheet does it all for you. So you don't have to worry about it. So good. Glad to hear that, Matt.
Well, very good live stream this morning, and
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm actually kind of, we've been on such a roll. It was kind of good seeing one, fail, because at least you can see that it happens, guys. Both sides of the spectrum happens all the time, and there's nothing that we can expect, is actually going to happen, right? We can't throw our will on the market. It does whatever it
Right.
wants to do. So
What matters is we have a game plan.
Yep.
We set the game plan. We executed the game plan,
Yep.
and that's it. That's all you can do when it comes to the market. You create it, you execute your game plan, and the results are just a byproduct of it. So
Yep. I will say, so for Apex specifically, unless you're going to, I don't know what sale they've extended or if they didn't extend the sale, whatever it may be. Like for me, instead of buying another account, I'll probably just reset this one, because the reset's $35 and buying a new account's $50 for FOMC next week. But if not, you need to make sure you go in there and you cancel this account. If you're not going to reset the account and you don't want it to rebill you, because that's the whole point of the one shot, one kill, is to not have to take months at a time and pay Apex money over and over again. You're going to want to go into your Apex account, go into that Eval account, and you're going to want to hit cancel that account. That way it doesn't rebill you. Yeah. So CR, maybe you missed that. I'll go over that one more time with CR, so I can show guys how to add the news data again. So like, let's just do today, for example. So if I wanted to add today's, again, the first 5-minute candle is closed. I'm going to go from the open to the manipulation side, which was 27 points. So I'll go back to the spreadsheet, and I'm going to put in today's date, 11/1/24. And then the manipulation was 27. And then the move itself, again, to where it actually open and close. So it's open high. So open high is 41. So yeah, one of the smallest NFP. I mean, look, if NFP averages 106 points, we just got 41.
yeah,
Like, look at this.
there's
Not even one
the
on the
weakness.
sheet. Yeah, look at that. And this
Yeah.
is going back to August of last year. There's not even one that the smallest one before that was 55 points. No, I'm sorry, there was a 41 point. Yeah. Yeah. So that was some lethargic. But see, now on this one on July, the manipulation was 80 points. So even though the manipulation was larger than the actual move, you still passed because the manipulation was so big. We didn't get a manipulation big enough to do anything, or an actual move to do anything. Yeah, RJ, it depends on if Apex is going to continue with that sale about the $85. I think they've had such success. I think they're going to continue that regardless, but we have to wait to see what their new sale is going to be. I'm not sure what it is at this time. I'm sure they will. Can we do yeah. Asimov, isn't the elections kind of a one shot, one kill anyways? It's kind of like, it's 50-50, every year anyway. So Yeah, no problem, CR. Any other questions, guys, before I jump off? And Ash might want to say something.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up after this as well. I have to do one wash trade to stay active
Gotcha.
on my
Okay.
funded futures. Other than that, everything still remains the same. I don't execute Wednesday to Friday of non-farm payroll week, and I didn't need to expedite because I still have my 10 Apex accounts and my
Yeah.
3 my funded futures. So I'm not really looking to scale at the moment.
Yeah.
I just want a couple more payouts, then maybe I'll think about scaling
Sure.
again. But
Jimmy, what's your pad size? Because that points number is going to be determined by the pad size, I do believe. So what's your pad size that you have there? I think it changes. Yeah, it changes based on your pad size. So if you don't have a 22 pad, oh, yep, there you go, Jimmy. Yeah, it depends on the pad size. So, I mean, I don't think there's any math wrong. I've gone through all these calculations many times, guys. But if you see something that doesn't look right, just let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's all. I mean, I've been using this for a while now. Yeah, that's why, Jimmy. Yeah. So what this point is, and I can just kind of give you guys a background of how this works. So essentially, the math works that based on the pad size, it's going to go, okay, well, if this is higher than the pad or that's higher than the pad, that's when it's going to determine what calculation it's going to do, whether it's going to take the manipulation or it's going to take the open high low. And then so this point column is how many points you get, because essentially if it's a 22 point pad and we went 27 points, well, guess what? We're going to be executed on the trade, right? So then what it does is it will say, okay, well, this went higher than this, therefore this is the number we have to take. Because just like me, it executed and then went right to the other side of the range, right? So it blew the account no matter what. So depending on what this pad size is, it's going to calculate whether it's doing that number or that number. If the number is less than the pad size, then it's going to calculate all the numbers based on the open, high, low. So whatever pad size you have in here is going to change the number of points, because all it's telling you here is that, well, we use the manipulation because that was higher than the pad. So this is going to execute, right, before this does. So that's the difference between the pad and this, which in my case would have been 5 points. So that's where that comes into play. So Flower, it can seem quite complicated. I mean, when I first started doing this, I didn't have any of this data and I was just throwing the things on the chart. But again, I've done it a lot now and it's actually pretty simple. And I think that's how everything is with trading. Is it may seem like daunting and confusing at first and complicated, but the more you practice it, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like, it's really simple. You just get in there, you pop your numbers in, you put the trades on, you let it play out. I think I need more referencing points and observing. Yeah. And that's the best thing to do. I mean, before I actually attempted this live, guys, I tested this for a month. Like, literally paper traded it, practiced it, putting the executions on for an entire month before I ever even attempted it live. So practice makes perfect with everything. So any other last questions?
all I have to say was that was boring. Holy cow.
It was. And
I've never seen non-farm payroll not move.
I know.
And this thing is
did
still
nothing.
where we were before non-farm payroll.
Even the last one in July that had the 41 point move, at least it manipulated 80 points first, right? So at least it had something.
Yeah.
Yeah. CR, I did personally record it. Yes. I don't know, Ash, I can pop this up on my own personal YouTube channel and then post in here. It's really Ash. It's what you want to do with it. I do have my OBS recording this though, Ash. So I don't know what you want to do with this. If you want me to send it to you, or if you want me, I can pop it on my YouTube, make it unlisted, and then put it in here for people if they want to watch it. You tell me what you want me to do with it.
I just got to send Nate a message after this because he's the one that records. So I don't know if he recorded or not.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I recorded it, so I do have it. So on my
perfect.
OBS.
So if you want to throw it up there, we could do it that way, and then I'll link your YouTube.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Well, hey, thanks for joining. Yeah, and I'm glad everyone got to see. It looks like at least one person passed. Way to go, Jim Bob. A couple failed. I failed. You know what I mean? But that's the whole point, guys. We move on about our days. You know what? This was $50 whatever. Okay, we move on about our day, and I'm going to try it again next week. It is what it is. That's how it works. So
Very good. I appreciate your time once
yeah,
again, and
absolutely.
thank you for answering all the questions and
Yeah,
showing
yeah,
us the information and keeping the data updated as well. It's
yeah.
just very valuable, and we've seen so many people pass with this.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
failing is a part of this
Part of the
business,
game.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Well,
does
I know
provide
last
tracing accounts as well.
NFP we had over 50 people, and that's just the people who said they did. I'm sure there were more that did pass on the last
Right.
NFP, so that was pretty nice. Yeah, so Tomek, yeah, you can reset now if you want, or I don't know, when you say wait until tomorrow, it depends on when you bought the account. Because if you when with Apex, the monthly reset, it's automatically if the account's failed, it's going to reset the account for you anyways. If you're not close to that, it's cheaper to just pay the $35 reset fee than a new $50 monthly fee. So that's really your call. That's what I do personally. Instead of canceling this account and buying a new one, I just pay the reset fee of $35 as opposed to $50 for a new 250K account. So it really depends on when your account was actually set. So I couldn't tell you that. But also we got to keep in mind we got to look at what their new sale is. We'll update probably. Okay, yeah. So if your account resets to tomorrow, they're going to hit you with the $50 anyway. So there's no point in paying a $35 reset fee now and then also getting hit with a $50 tomorrow. I don't know why yours says $80. You may want to go in there and actually try to reset because it may just be a fee or a sale. And one last thing as well, guys, as far as Apex sales are concerned, the way the Apex sales work is when you buy a Eval account, whatever the terms of that specific Apex sale is, whether it be your $85 lifetime fee, whether it be the 1-day pass fee, if this sale expires, whatever your terms are, they expire with that sale. So if you don't pass an account, like take for example the 1-day pass, if you buy a Eval account and the sale's a 1-day pass and you don't pass before that sale expires and it doesn't get extended, you don't have 1-day pass anymore. It defaults back to 3 days. So essentially, let's say you do OSOK, you pass. Well, you're just going to have to do 2 wash trades to give it the 2 other days that it needs. So just keep that in mind. Like I don't know what Apex is doing now, if they're gonna, because their sales ended last night, so I don't know if they're gonna extend. They usually always do, but you always want to kind of keep that in mind as to what's happening, what's going on. So yeah, no sale right now. I'm sure Jimmy they'll announce something in the next day, so they always usually do. If you guys aren't part of the Apex at checkout, yeah. See, that's what I thought, Jen. It just showed you what it was more because the sale didn't apply yet. So yeah, so if it's 35, like I said, that's what I do. I just reset it. But again, remember, guys, since that sale expired, we're not 100% that we're going to have $85 lifetime fee in what the next sales. Again, I believe they're going to continue that $85 lifetime fee because it's been so successful for them. Yeah, correct. Right at this point in time, nah, I'd win. We don't know what the next sale is going to be, so technically we don't have that $85 lifetime fee. In the next day or so, I'm sure they're going to announce something that says what it's going to be, and they continue. If you guys are not a part of the Apex Trader Funding Discord, I say join that because that's where they put the majority of their sales. I know they shut it down and they're redoing it all right now, but they do have their sales section in there. So that way you can see that. That'd be the most up-to-date information on their sales. So, but all right, I think that's it. I'm going to jump off, guys. Ash, I have this recorded, so I'll just post it on my YouTube if you're cool with that, and then I'll just post the link in my journal for everybody. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. But I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll see what happens next week.
Thank you once again. I hope you have a nice day.
You too, brother. Y'all take care.
All righty.
All right.